guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber for Kyuujin Cosplay, and welcome back to The Last of Us, episode 4, called Please Hold to My Hand. Yeah, something like that.
We're kind of wearing inspiration outfits from Joel and Ellie because last episode we introduced the main outfits. So the plaid for Joel and the pink shirt for Ellie or something.
Yeah.
So, I was freaking out like I usually do in those episodes because of the game. Last episode was about Bill and I was about to call him Frank. Yeah, thank you. Breaking Bad somehow is in my head. Yeah. So Bill and Frank, Bill the survivalist who, doesn't really trust people. He was prepared for the apocalypse, and when the shit hit the fan, he was ready, but he was alone. He kind of needed someone to help him live a little. And Frank, the guy who was in desperate need of help, was the right guy for the job. They found each other and they helped each other, and they lived together for about 14 years before Frank, he was dying. And in this new world, there's no one to take care of him or to, bring him comfort. So he was like, Bill, I've lived my life with you and stuff. That was amazing. Can you just give me the perfect day and send me off? And Bill was like, eventually, fine. What he didn't tell him at first was that he also planned on going with him.
Because what's the point to go on living if the love of your life is not with you anymore?
Yeah.
Even though that we are living in an apocalypse, we can have a peaceful life if we chose to live one.
Joel is not the guy that has a peaceful life right now, of course. Like I was telling her the other day that every episode so far, Joel goes in this, he learns something bad about someone he loves, or he loses someone, and then he goes, oh, fuck. Like, every episode so far, we've had a Joel going, oh. Which is, it's... Joel has lost so much, so it's hard for him to see the bright side and to see the happy life he could potentially have, which is why he has Ellie. And I'm excited to see more of them two together, because we're back with these two, still on their way. They have a car now, they're still on their way to find Tommy. And which means, if we're following the game, we are about to meet some bandits.
Yeah.
So, it's a long intro. Without further ado, let's jump in episode 4 and see what they have in store for us.
Let's go!
Let's go. She found a gun and Joel doesn't know.
I'm gonna bet that this is gonna come batter in the ass at the end of the episode. Or the next one.
Oh, I think she'll use it to save Joel. She needs to prove herself. Otherwise, there's no way he lets her keep, a gun for the rest of this. Are you talking to me?
But you see, she wants to prove herself.
She's still a kid.
She's still a kid, but when you want to play the hero, you need to be ready to handle the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, and she doesn't know how to use it. So I would be like, the best way to go about this would be to ask Joel, but he doesn't want her to have a gun. So right now it's like, yeah.
Someone's gonna get hurt.
Or she'll be like, she won't know how to use it.
Safety off!
It doesn't matter how much you push the envelope, it'll still be stationary. No pun intended. Volume 2 by Will Livingston. You get it? 2? Like TMO?
He's so not used to that anymore.
What your math class? I stayed
What
up
the
all
hell
night
am I
wondering
into?
where the sun went. And then it dawned on me.
Feel free to wait in the truck.
He wants to indulge really deep down, but it's too painful still.
That's my job, to make dad spawn.
That's a great scene in the game when they get to the city and then the music gets all, loud. And she's got the gay porn!
I know the reading, but it has some interesting pictures.
That's not for kids.
How do you even walk around with that thing?
Get rid of it.
Hold your horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about. Why are all these pages stuck together?
Do I explain that one?
Time to glue melt.
Bye-bye.
Willy Willy, when Papa B and other Papa B love each other.
She's young, but not that young. Was that beef boilie?
Slow down.
That's just slow. What am I even eating?
That is 20-year-old Chef Boyardee ravioli.
Not even still good.
20 years old. You can't be picky with that stuff
I'll
in the
listen out here.
apocalypse.
I figure I...
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah,
Why did the Scarecrow get an award?
because he was outstanding in his field.
You dick! Did you read this?
No,
He's a dad.
go to sleep.
It's like it comes
It's
with
my
the
whole
job.
persona.
There's no way anyone knows we're here, right? No one's gonna find us.
Never say never.
No one's gonna find us.
She'd be scared. I'd be scared too, like sleep in the car. It's his job to reassure her and get her to sleep, and he knows he has to sleep, but he's the one with the gun that's gonna be, you know, sleeping with one eye open.
Ready just in case.
Because he's saying, yeah, there's no chance, but there's always a chance. If you are here, someone else could be. And he lost one girl already. He just lost Tess and Bill and Frank. I hope he's got coffee.
Whoa, what the fuck is that?
You don't like coffee?
He didn't sleep at all. He won't sleep in the entire show.
The bags under his
He's
eyes.
not fresh than we'll do.
What's his name?
Whose name?
Your brother.
Tommy.
Younger or older?
Younger.
Why isn't he with you?
Long story.
Is it longer than 25 hours? Because I think that's what we got.
She's not stopping. She's keeping him on his toes.
Tommy's what we used to call a joiner. Dreams of becoming a hero. So he enlists in the army right out of high school. Being in the army didn't make him feel much like a hero. Cut to 12 years later, outbreak happens. He convinces me to join a group making their way up to Boston, which I did. Mostly to keep an eye on him, keep him alive. Well, for what it was, it worked. And then Tommy meets Marlene. She talks me into joining the Fireflies. The same mistake he made when he was 18. He wants to save the world.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Of course, last I heard, he quit the Fireflies too. So now he's on his own out there, and I gotta go get him.
I get his point, but it's not a bad thing to have hope for a better
If
future.
there is hope for the world, why bother going on?
We haven't seen the world, so you don't know.
She's
It's called
discovering
family.
it.
That's about it.
I'm not family.
No, your cargo. I made a promise to Tess.
But she'll become
She was my
family.
She is discovering the world right now, and she's finding it so much more fascinating than he is. She's bringing life back.
Yeah, but keep in mind that he used to live before the apocalypse.
I know, but it's not a bad thing to have hope for a better future.
This is not the zombies.
Nope.
Please help!
Nope. Sorry, nope.
Put your seatbelt on.
Are we gonna help him?
Victim or acting?
It's acting. He knows these people. Well, not these people specifically,
shit.
but
Are we gonna get attacked by a tank?
like in the game, maybe.
You see that hole? When I say go, you crawl to that wall, and you squeeze through, and you don't come out until I say. I'm not gonna hit you. Go!
There is an element of trust, you know, they've got each other. Boom, headshot. I just keep thinking of the main character who they keep shooting at. He's fine, and then he goes choo-choo. Over. They've got infinite ammo. They never touch the main character. I'm not saying that Last of Us is like that, but I keep thinking about that. Putting myself in her mind, like if Joel gets killed, she's alone. She's saving him. Oh, not with the gun? With the gun? Are you gonna try? Come on. She touches Joel. Okay.
Oh, in the lungs.
over. We're not fighting anymore. I'm gonna go home. I'll tell everyone you're good. I don't know what to do.
You were about to kill him.
We can train with you guys.
No, we
can be
can't.
friends. I didn't know. I'm Brian. I'm Brian. What's your name?
He's gotta sympathize with them because otherwise he knows he's dead. But you can't let him live.
Get back behind the wall. No. I'm sorry. Please. No, please. Please. I'm sorry. Please.
It had to be a fucking kid too. It's her first attempt at someone's life, sort of.
Go fast.
That's why I need to make a clean shot as much as possible, you know?
I'm okay. I'm good. I got some food in here still, and I got your light, so.
No chick fix
Yeah, no,
moments.
look.
Oh, we spotted clear.
At least, like, it's not like in the game where he was so pissed at her for you know, I don't know, the situation got to his head and he got pissed and he was mad at her. But I think he was just disappointed in himself for getting in the situation and having her kill for him. So at least he's taking it a little less.
I was alone. I haven't seen any of those people since that night.
I wonder if this is the cell where my brother was beaten to death.
No, you were wronged. This has gone too far. It has to stop.
It has to stop now, you mean? Now that you're in the cell.
I delivered you. I held you in my hands. I never told them anything about your brother.
But Henry did. And we know that he's still in the city. And I think that you know that too. Where is he? You think I won't do it?
I'm your doctor.
Yeah, but in her mind, you betrayed her. I love the exploration of the enemy's point of view. I like that.
Yeah, but like we said, in the game, we're always with Ellie or Joel. You don't have time to be with other people's mind.
Who did this?
We think it was outsiders.
Well, if Henry has a radio, maybe he found someone out there.
I think he might
Maybe
be the
he
voice
called
actor
these
for
guys
Tommy.
in.
I
Will
saw a
he live?
picture of him. I think it might be him. I don't remember though. I'm listening to the voice. I'm trying to, you know.
There's no chance. I'm sorry.
The thing is, we were just fine. They attack us first. We just want to pass through.
Yeah.
But they're gonna attack us back for revenge.
It's all about survival. Who shoots first, you know, could impact who survives in the end.
This is Henry's work. Understand? And he won't stop until we stop him. Find who did this and kill them all.
An old man and a teenage girl. Come on.
But no, but he has killed a lot of people, Joel. If you give him the chance, he will kill all of them. At least, I mean, that's what I used to do in the game. I kind of love, like, it's personal for her, and she's twisting the narrative a little bit to make it sound like, oh, you know, see what they did to us. And they're gonna follow because they're stressed. They're basically left alone.
Yeah, and their group is attacked.
Thing is, I didn't hear that guy coming.
So he takes on himself.
He shouldn't have had to. You know, you should know what it means. I don't know what it's like. First time that you hurt someone like that. If you. I'm not good at this.
Yeah, you really aren't.
I mean, it was my fault. You shouldn't have had to.
It's the world. Unfortunately.
And I'm sorry.
It's a good thing to want to keep her innocent. Unfortunately, they don't live in a world where she can afford it. But I love how he's trying to handle the situation.
It wasn't my first time.
Show me your grip. Finger off the trigger.
It's a nice father-daughter moment. It's fucked up, but it's nice. Figures she's gonna have to do it again. So, better teach her how to do it right. Both they acknowledge that it's gonna be a possibility. I'm assuming that's Henry and Sam.
That's his name, Henry?
Yeah.
Oh.
And that would be Sam. He's like Superman with his bro.
Real question is, what have you done? Because to my knowledge, Henry's not really that fucked up.
From what I understand so far, Henry sold her brother to Fedra, probably because Fedra was targeting his brother or their safety. So he was like, okay, I'll give you the names, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. So she's on revenge, on a revenge quest. Ooh.
What is that?
When do we tell the others?
Is it one of the...
The big ones?
Yeah?
Maybe.
Not yet. Let's just handle what we have to handle. We can deal with this after.
Kathleen.
After.
Cartoon.
Seal off the building for now.
The thing is, I get it. She wants revenge for her brother, so she's focusing on that. But when you're the leader of such a big group, you can't be emotional and put up problems like this.
Hey, you know that guy who said he was hurt? How did you know it was an ambush?
I've been on both sides. It was a long time ago. We did what we needed to survive.
Did you kill innocent people?
Yeah. It's the be killed, kill or be killed.
When we were talking about hurting people, what did you mean it wasn't your first time?
I don't want to talk about it.
I do wonder if they're gonna explore her
The
backstory.
reason I asked was, did you know diarrhea is hereditary?
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah. It runs in your genes.
Oh my god. Thanks for breaking the tension. She got him, yeah.
She got him.
Shh.
That's a good one.
It's so good to see him laugh. Maybe not one episode where he goes.
Joel,
Oh, wrong side.
Yep. And that's Henry. And Sam. Could have been worse. Oh, geez, these episodes are so short. And I always say that, but yeah, basically. What a great episode to show that you're the hero of your own story. Right? They live in the world where it's kill or be killed. It's all about your point of view in a situation. What's her name? The
Kathleen.
Kathleen
Kathleen. Yeah.
or Catherine?
Kathleen.
Okay, Kathleen. She's on a quest for revenge. Like I said in the episode, I feel like, you know, from the way she was speaking to the doctor and stuff, they were living in a place where, yeah, perhaps she was doing a Joel, you know, her brother, the people following her. They were doing deals on the side. They were bandits, but they were leaving with the, you know, perhaps the support and the protection of Fedra. And then Fedra found out, like, kind of they're going after the Fireflies while they're going after the bandits too. They went after them. They asked for people to sell them out. Henry, maybe trying to protect his brother, gave the location of Kathleen's brother, because it's kill or be killed. He's got someone to protect. He's got to make sure that, you know, he stays alive. So I get everyone's situation, but then what happens when you're stuck in a hate cycle like this is that after she loses her brother, she goes after Henry. When she goes after Henry, she forgets about everything else and she's willing to kill other innocent people to get to Henry, which creates more hatred, which creates more vengeance, and it's a never-ending cycle. I can't speak, somehow it's difficult today. It's a never-ending cycle. But if someone killed Tommy, you bet that Joel would do the same fucking thing.
Go after the people that kill him, and their people's gonna come after us, and we're gonna go after them right after.
But I mean, yeah,
It's
but
the
we
same
gotta
thing over and over again.
exactly. But we gotta understand, like, there's no villain. Like in a situation like this, like the true villain would be the fungus. It would be the zombies. To
But
them,
seriously, we do not need an apocalypse to turn on each other.
That's
we
the thing,
already
humans
do
do
in the
that.
normal life.
humans do that because we're so goddamn emotional and we're greedy. And
But
I mean, I love that they're giving us bandits that have an emotional reason for doing the stuff they do, and it's not just survival, because it makes it interesting. If we've got them versus us, we're gonna be like, well, we'll kill them,
yeah.
but they've got a reason for doing the stuff they're doing.
Yeah, but Joel said it best. You keep hoping, you keep going on, living for family, friends, loved ones.
Well, that's
You
the
know?
thing she's using also to keep her group in check. You know, she's showing the bodies. She's saying, you know, oh, this is Henry. She wants them to focus on Henry. She's like, this is Henry. They killed your loved ones. They, you know, he's the one responsible for all this death. So of course they're gonna follow because, like Joel said, and like you just said, you go on for family because it's something that still lives in despair. You know, it's something you reach out to. It's
Something
someone.
that you
It's people you care about.
something that you loved.
It's difficult, I think, to keep being hopeful, kind of like Tommy is, when you live in a world where everywhere you look, it's just ghosts of the past, and it's been 20 years. It's not like the outbreak just happened. He's been living in this shit for so long. Like, for Joel, I get it. He's given up on a potential good life, you know, on a potential cure, on a possibility of a better future, because it's better for him to not hope and then to lose hope. You know, it's better for him, it's better for him to not have hope at all than to have hope and lose it in the end. You know, because it can destroy you.
But do you think that Joel would have been more optimist
If Sarah was
still alive?
Perhaps.
You know,
He would have fought.
hoping for a better world for his daughter.
And that's what I was about to say. Maybe he would have fought for her, but he's got no reason to fight. Like, he lost Sarah, the most innocent being he could think of. Then he's got to protect Tommy, so he's fighting for Tommy, and Tommy keeps trying to talk him into, you know, going with groups and stuff. And he's like, yeah, you know what? Let's fight for the freedom of our people. Let's fight for a better future. And then he ends up giving up and moving on, and he does something else. And they haven't said that in the show, but in the game, it's also the fact that, you know, he didn't agree at all with Joel doing the stuff he admitted to Ellie, you know, he didn't admit to killing innocents, but he did. And being, you know, the guy that pretends to be hurt so people stop to help, and then you jump them and you steal their stuff. Because it's you or them.
Yeah.
In the game, it's you know, they mentioned that Tommy wasn't at all okay with that. And Joel was like, well, I'm still the one, maybe they'll talk about this when they actually meet Tommy, but he was like, I'm the one that kept us alive. Like, if I didn't do the shit, we would be dead. But Tommy is like, yeah, but he doesn't want to lose his humanity, and I get that, but I also understand Joel's point of view.
Well,
so
it is a gray area because we can only say stuff, but when you are in that situations, you don't know how you're gonna react. Are you gonna keep your morals, your humanity, or do the thing, horrible stuff to survive? Because our survival instincts gonna kick at the end of it. You know,
Also,
kill or be killed, eat or not be eaten. You know, stuff like that.
Eat or be eaten. I'll say this. If I was stuck in an apocalypse like this, I would hope to be kind of like Tommy, someone with hope for a better future, someone who would fight for the right cause, and someone who hopefully would choose not to hurt the innocent to survive. I would hope to be that person. If I managed to be that person, though, I wouldn't be judging the ones that couldn't do that, because I understand that we can't trust other people, considering, you know, how humanity screws itself over and over all the time, you know. So in the apocalypse, it's not any better. You've got people who've been betrayed. You've got people who gotta eat. They've gotta eat. You've got people who, you know, you've got a gun. You point the gun at someone points a gun at you. You're gonna shoot first, despite the fact that that person is innocent. You know, you would shoot first. And if you've got someone to protect, even more the reason to shoot first. So I wouldn't judge anyone who would choose to go Joel's route. I would judge the ones, like, that's why I'm happy that with the bandits that they gave us, they're showing us a lot of emotional reasons for the stuff that they're doing. You know, it's you know, we got families to protect, we've got to avenge our loved ones, we've got, you know, we lost people we cared about, so we're being emotional about it. I love that, because if it was just torturing people for the sake of torturing people, because I know that there are people like that, and in the game we meet people like that, so if it was just, you know, oh, I mean, I'm gonna not only steal your shit to survive, but I'm gonna torture you. I'm gonna make sure, you know, you run for your life, and I'm gonna run after you, and then I'm gonna enjoy it while I kill you. That I don't approve at all. So that's the one thing I'd be like, I'm gonna judge that.
That's too heavy, man.
But anyone else, anyone that is put in a situation where, you know, like Ellie had to shoot that guy because it was him or Joel. It's a great line in the game. I'm kind of sad that he didn't say that in the show, but I do enjoy how he tried to handle the situation in a better way than his game counterpart, because it was more gentle. Sorry, it was very awkward, but you understand, like, you know what he's trying to say. He sees a little girl and he wishes it would, you know, things would be like they used to be. You should enjoy your childhood. And she says it doesn't get any easier when you're grown up, but at least he's got a happy childhood, hopefully, to think about when it gets difficult. You know, he's got happier moments to remember.
Just nightmares and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so I get his point. Like, a child shouldn't have to do the stuff that Ellie has to do. Unfortunately, it's the cards they were dealt with, so I'm happy that he's understanding, you know, okay, it wasn't your first kill, this is your second, it's gonna happen again. You're gonna have to kill. I'd rather you know how to do it correctly. I'll teach you. That's fine. So you don't shoot me by accident or shoot yourself. And
yeah.
So that's, I mean, at least that's a thing of the past. And if she wants to talk about this, at least she knows, you know, he's been there, he understands. And they made it so difficult for her to get over it, because the guy is gonna die. He's gonna react like a human. He's a kid as well. Like, he's not innocent, but he is human. So he's gonna scream, he's gonna call his mom, he's gonna cry, he's gonna beg, and he's gonna try to be a friend and appear like, oh, you know what, like, I can help you and stuff, because he doesn't want them to kill him. Unfortunately, Joel has a kid to take care of, and he's got himself to look after also, so...
The thing is, if we let it live...
Let him live. He's not a thing.
Let him live, sorry. She shot him in the spinal cord, so he cannot walk.
He said he couldn't feel his legs.
Yeah, so he can't walk. In an apocalypse, that's a death sentence.
Well, he's with people. He's with people, so I'm not saying it's the end of things, but as soon as he goes back with his people and he's safe, they see what happened to him.
He's gonna snitch on us.
He's gonna snitch. Or they're gonna want to avenge what happened to him. Or he's gonna get angry and he's gonna, you know, want to have revenge. As soon as tables are turned, your view on the situation changes. So he's not the one with the gun. He's gonna beg. He's gonna say a lot of things. If you turn the tables and Joel ends up facing that kid again, well, if he was alive, if he ends up facing that kid again and that kid's got the gun, he's shooting Joel out of anger. You know, he's not going to remember the promises. There are empty promises. You can't believe someone who's in a crisis to tell the truth. They're going to say anything to survive. It's instinct. So, yeah, that whole kill for the first time scene was a lot harder to get over than in the game, but I think it makes sense, and it's showing us the other side, because, like, we've been saying in this show, there is no good guy, there is no bad guy. Everyone does shit to survive. Fedra is, for many characters, the evil, because it's easy to judge the government. They're the ones with the means, the weapons, the armor. They're the ones in power. So if they don't react accordingly, or if they don't do what you want, it's easy to judge. But we saw the officers in the first episode, and we saw the ones later, who, the ones that do the deals also. They're trying to help because they also want to live in this world comfortably.
Yeah.
And they have nightmares also. Like, they have problems sleeping too. They're being told, you got to keep these people safe at any means necessary. So they're going to try to do that. If it means killing the bandits, killing the ones that step out of line, killing the ones that were bit, even if it means taking someone from their family and shooting them, they have to do it, and they have to live with themselves. So for many people, they are the enemy, but we understand that for them, it's not easy. And because of Fedra, you've got bandits, which are like, oh, they took our freedom. We can't live like we used to. We want to, we want to take our chances. We want a better quality, we want a better life, because they remember how it used to be.
Yeah.
And they want that for their kids. They want that for their families. So they're going to do the shit that Joel talked about, and then they're going to do the shit that these bandits are doing, even if it means screwing over other people. And then people getting screwed over by the bandits, they're like, well, there are worse monsters than the monsters, so we're going to attack the bandits. It's an endless cycle.
Yeah, it is.
It's such a good world. And not a good world, but it's a realistic world, in my opinion, because we're humans. We have flaws. There is no perfect being. Even Tommy, who's, being presented by Joel as this idealistic guy who, tries to see the better side of everything, and he wants to be the hero, and he keeps abandoning the stuff
when
he
he's
starts.
not giving him what he's looking for, he's just, oh, screw it, I'm done with it.
Yes, and, even though I don't necessarily agree with everything that Joel did to survive, Tommy is the one judging him, but Joel has a point. I don't know, he hasn't said that in the show yet, but Joel has a point when he says that they probably wouldn't be alive if he didn't do the stuff he did. So no one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. And in this world, we saw, shit is real.
Yeah.
Kids have to learn how to shoot and survive in this world. People have to forget about how it used to be and adapt to how it is. And it's gonna be hard, and it's gonna be just, terrible, because they have something to compare it to, the before. So Joel, he sees Ellie shooting a guy, and she's going through the emotions and stuff, and he can't help but go back to, I used to be a dad. I used to have a little girl to take care of.
It shouldn't be like this.
It's my fault for letting it happen. But no, kids, that's their reality too. Unfortunately, that's not his fault. That's no one's fault. Well, that's the fungus' fault. And unfortunately, the fungus isn't necessarily alive to be blamed, so can't blame, you can't blame grass and shit, you can't blame viruses. Anyway, they're doing a really good job in showing us all the sides and making us, think about, not only, because it's so easy to hate a certain group and be like, oh, they're the bad guys, we gotta shoot the bad guys. In a video game, it's really easy. But by transferring it to the screen, they're making it a lot more human. And I'm going to ask you a question, actually, because I read something about way before we watched the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
While it was live, they talked about, because I tried not to get spoiled, but I knew that there was going to be one leader bandit. I didn't know what she was going to do. I didn't know, anything about her, except that she was apparently too soft in the eyes of a lot of viewers to be the leader of the bandits. So I wanted to see, what do you think in this first episode with her? Do you think she's too soft? Do you think realistically, because like I said, I keep mentioning how realistic this show would be. Do you think it's realistic that someone like her, who's soft-spoken, who's more, smooth and nice and doesn't appear like the hardcore badass that you would expect from a leader of the bandits? What do you think of her? Do you think it's too unrealistic, or it's spot on?
I would say yes and no, because someone that is soft like her can easily inspire trust.
Yep.
She's a leader, but if what she's saying and asking us to do, I don't like it, I can overpower her, first of all. and she's a woman. She seems nice. Okay, I can have a trust in her. Like I know I can follow her decision. What she's saying is making sense. You know, usually people who are leader are people who can be charismatic, that can inspire people to follow them, like Marlene. Someone who can show a great amount of strength and power, like Joel.
They're the leaders.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at her in the episode and I was like, she reminds me of a mother figure.
Yeah, you follow your mother, like
Yeah.
baby ducks.
Because I said in the episode, you know...
And we just saw her, she was able to rely on people and say, look what Henry did with his people. He killed one of her own. We need to look for him and just take him out.
She kind of
She's good at
uses their
manipulating
emotions.
people
Yeah.
to do what she wants.
Yeah, I mean, there are probably leaders in this world out there who are more the badass, like I lead with fear type. But I don't think it's, you know, I
mean,
don't
okay.
think it's unrealistic to have someone who would, you know, resemble a mother figure as a leader, because she's driven by her emotions. As we saw, you know, she's pushing away the problem with the floor moving and stuff, which I think means that there's fungus all over the fucking place. So, like, and live, you know, monsters and clickers and shit. But she's pushing that back so she can focus on her revenge, which is not a good leader quality. But she is really good at targeting people's emotion towards what she wants.
I mean, I can give you an example that we had in real life. You know, in World War II with Hitler, that guy, I mean, first look, not really charismatic, but the way that he spoke to people, saying, we are a great nation, we deserve better, we are...
It's like brainwashing.
It is like brainwashing.
It is brainwashing. It's definitely brainwashing. It's giving the people what they need in a moment of crisis.
It is. And the truth is, a bunch of his officer of scientists did the worst of in the camps and experiment. He just was in charge of, we need to do stuff, but people did stuff on their own because they were inspired by him, you know? You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, she didn't give me an inspire. Like, I look at her and I'm not inspired, but in the episode, I was saying that these people are scared and they're stressed and they're living day to day, and now they just lost 2 or 3 people that they care about. They're emotional. Their grief has to go somewhere, and their anger has to go somewhere.
She's good at using their emotions to do what she wants them to do.
Yeah, so it's the article I read about that woman not being a realistic leader in a post-apocalyptic world. I don't believe it.
There are different types of leader, first of all.
Definitely. And I would understand if she was, you know, if she was, like Marlene is badass. And when you look at her, she commands in a way, like with how she portrays herself and how she is.
Well, she looks more like a soldier.
Yes, she commands respect because she's out there, she's doing the shit. Whereas this one, she's more soft, but I think that's what they need. They need someone to lead them and kind of reassure them in a way, and just like a mother, like she soothes them by targeting their anger towards the ones she wants out.
And I mean, she's still able to shoot someone point blank in the face. Someone that birthed her, and she knew from her childhood.
And she was like, she's not, like I keep saying she's emotional, but she's not overly emotional that she wouldn't consider using these people for her own benefit, because she was like, oh, you know,
what if you got a doctor?
No, not possible. Okay, he's not useful to me. Let's shoot him. Instead of just, you know, he's not giving you what I want.
She can be pragmatic, yeah. Well, pragmatic.
It's just that she's being blinded by her need for revenge against Henry, who's protecting his brother, and we just got introduced to them. So I think we're gonna end the discussion here and move on, because it's a good spot to just see what happens next.
But what about you? Do you think that she's maybe too soft?
No, I just said, I think, you know, when I read the article, I was like, oh, I'll see in the show, you know, how she is and how she portrays herself. And I was like, I don't believe that someone that's soft or soft looking or that doesn't appear like the typical badass guy that we usually see and stuff. I don't think someone like that's what we're used to means that it's necessary, like she's necessarily bad for the job. It's just a different approach. And in this one, I saw I saw a mother.
Do you remember in Walking Dead, Alexandria?
Yeah, well, I saw the Alexandria chapter once, and that's it. So I don't remember it completely.
Well, their leader was a woman. She was kind of the mayor of the place.
Yeah.
So, but the place was more diplomatic, first of all, not in a
Yeah, but
this
we're
kind of
talking-
situation.
No, we're
but-
talking about it's different because we're talking here about a group of bandits.
Yeah.
Like they're the ones preying on the weak. So people were saying in the article that a woman like that would not be the leader of such a group because she would more be like the stereotypical representation of what they prey on. But there are women in the group. They are kids in the group. Like they are people. And it's not because she's a woman, first of all, and it's not because she's soft-spoken and she's, she's like more of a mother figure, like I keep saying, that she's not willing to do what's necessary and she's not willing to target, like, manipulate her people into doing those things. So as long as she's in control of herself in front of her people, I think it's realistic.
Unless we need supplies, do what you must, and she just turn a blind eye to what's going on.
The most important thing, I think, when you're leading people in a moment of crisis is to not appear weak. If they see weakness, there's going to be opportunists, there's going to be people who are like, okay, you're definitely not going to make me survive.
Yeah,
so
they're not gonna trust you.
yeah, so she's just got to stay focused, and I think, like, the guy who I think is Tommy's voice actor, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Did
I
you
think
look
it's
it
him.
up?
I did, but I forgot what he looked like. So, I think that guy is the only one who truly saw, okay, right now, you're really not making sense because you've got an issue to take care of and you're not focusing on it. You're focusing on your revenge. So he's the only one she kind of lets inside her little circle, and she's the only one she allows to see, what's going on.
Rick needs to get in charge again.
So, well, if he wanted to, he could spread the word like, oh, she's not right for us. Like, she's focusing on her own thing. She doesn't care about us. Like, he could do stuff. But as long as she doesn't let other people see her like that, and he's not, he doesn't want to betray her, she's fine. As long as she stays in control. And as long as she is what they need. So if they need someone strong, she's got to be strong. If they need someone, like, I don't know, but if ever you needed someone barbaric, that's what she has to be. I think they need someone to both focus them and do the right, to do what's necessary for their group, and also someone that's gentle enough to appease their worries and kind of calm them down because they are so fucking stressed too. Every day they gotta also fight for their lives, except that they chose to do that by attacking innocent people. But then again, like, what else are they gonna do? Like, it's so complicated it's not complicated to pick a side, but in a realistic situation, who are we to judge these guys? I'm not saying that burning people and killing people is a good thing. Don't twist my words.
Do you think that they burned them to make sure that they won't come back as
Maybe.
living, breathing zombies?
They kill, from what it looks like, they stop anyone that passes through the city. Like, that's why they blocked the road, so they could pass through the city. They stop them, they steal their shit. If they can bring them, stuff, if they I don't think they trust anyone that passes through the city, so I guess that they take everything they need from them, they kill them, and then they burn the corpses so they don't come back. Although, like, those zombies are not necessarily the ones that we're used to. They are alive. They're not dead.
Mm-hmm.
They're people infected with fungus. It's not like we kill them and they come back. If you kill someone, they're gone. So, at least, yeah. If I remember correctly, yeah, that's The Last of Us, right?
Yeah.
They're not walking dead. They're living humans infected by the fungus. And the fungus controls them. That's why we can kill the runners and stuff by, stabbing them in the neck and stuff. Like, you don't necessarily have to destroy the brain.
What are they attacking them by the...
I don't care. They don't necessarily destroy the brain to kill them. Anyway.
Alright.
So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction and our discussion. A lot of it, of course, like, it's a short show, And a lot of the stuff we talk about comes back. So sometimes we talk about the same things.
Yeah, we
You
do
know.
bring back a lot to game.
But I mean, I think it's the fun of, not necessarily the fun of the discussion, but to really drive the point, further. It helps to have specific episodes focused on specific issues. So this one really was about who's in the wrong, and I don't think anyone is. It's just that everyone chooses a different way to survive, and some make bad choices, and Joel, being the main character who also did the bad choices at one point, we can't really judge anyone because our main character used to be a bandit.
Kind of remind me of Game of Thrones. Like, I mean...
Except that in Game of Thrones,
No.
we have main characters.
Whoa. In the first season with Daenerys, when we are from her point of view, she's Mother of Dragons, she's Misa.
No, I
she's
understand.
She's liberating slaves
I get
all
that.
over Essos.
I was about to
But
say...
from the other point of view, she's burning people alive.
I was about to say, we have characters in Game of Thrones, though, who can do no wrong. Usually, these characters are the ones that we call the Mary Sue or the Gary Sue of the show,
Gary Sue, that's the male type?
Yeah, I think so. It's the characters that, they never make the wrong choices. Whatever they do is always the right thing. We can't blame them on anything. They are good at everything. They're perfect, basically. So they can do no wrong. They have no flaws. There are definitely characters like that in Game of Thrones. Jon Snow.
He made some flaws.
Oh yeah, when?
He broke his vows for wildling.
It was the right thing to do at the time.
He lied to people. Right?
Come on, in a show where people kill each other, it doesn't matter.
Lying is wrong.
Oh yeah. Okay, but no, everyone is dark in this universe, which to me it's so much more interesting. We want to hear stories about characters that are flawed. They are better characters in my opinion because they're more human.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for watching this with us. We'll see you next week with the next episode. If you want to see it in advance, it is on Patreon already, so you can check it out. The link is in the description below, as well as the full-length reaction to this episode. So check it out.
Yeah, and if you don't, it's fine. Next one will be on YouTube next week, so
Yes.
check it out then, guys.
Bye.